Hey, welcome to Speedify Live. I'm Matt. I'm usually the one running the Twitter account, but here's me in person for once. We're live today talking about the NBA draft, the Sixers, and just in general, what's going on in the world of streaming and sports. It's really exciting. I've been looking forward to this one. Before we get into that, we actually have Speedify CEO Alex here to talk about our latest release, 11.4. It doesn't look that different to me, but apparently there's a bunch of really nice touches, and we're going to let Alex tell you all about that. Hey, Alex.
Hey.
How are you feeling, first and all?
We're still broken.
Still broken. For anybody who didn't catch our last stream, Alex broke his ankle about, I want to say 15 minutes before the stream started. I think it was a little bit before that.
It was a good hour before.
A good hour before. He was all set up to come in and talk, and there was DEFCON 5 as we tried to figure out what the hell we were going to do with a broken man who was key to our stream. But now he's here, and he seems to be in good shape, and he's here to tell you about Speedify 11. So take it away, Alex.
Yeah, so 11.4 shipped today. 11.4. Doesn't look very different. Lots of little things to make it work better for streamers. So it's better at detecting Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, Twitch, all of those. It should just spot them better. On iOS in particular, it's much better on crappy Wi-Fi. It's actually watching the signal strength now, which it's been doing on Android for a while. So it can spot bad Wi-Fi, long before you do. Made some tuning on the bypass for Amazon Video. We now recognize Tubi and let you bypass that as well. It's been a popular request. A couple little things in the user interface. There are now notifications on Windows and Linux telling you when it's connected, when it's disconnected. And on Android, I think we might have a picture of this, Ryan. There's, in the quick settings tray, see, there's now the Speedify S. And so just like the way you can turn Wi-Fi on and off on your phone, in the exact same spot, the Speedify S shows up, and you can connect and disconnect Speedify just by tapping that. So for anyone on Android, that's a pretty slick little thing. We also now actually run on the Android 12 beta. Anyone who's been messing around with Android 12, Speedify didn't work up until now. We figured it out. So go ahead and feel free to play with it there. And finally, Ryan, the invisible man here who's doing the pictures and stuff, redesigned the my.speedify.com website. This is the web portal where paid customers can go in and manage their account, change plans. If they have a team, they can add users. It's got a chat, so you can chat directly with customer support. What else is in there? Bunch of reporting. It's much, much nicer looking now. And that is old Ryan's work. So thank you, Ryan. And that is really what's new with us these days. Back to you, Matt.
Oh, yep. And that's amazing. That's fantastic. That's exciting. Can't wait to hear more about it. I'm not going to pretend I know all the details because I'm just the Twitter guy. But from what I heard, I think it sounds great, and you can trust me because I'm not just saying that because they're paying me. But Alex, again, thank you. I love how we can see your crutches in the background. I love how we can see how you trudge yourself here.
Find some painkillers, and I'm just gonna watch.
Yeah, I know. Go take a nice ibuprofen or 12, and just kick back. Ignore your broken body and really enjoy the rest of the show.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Take care. All right. So that was our CEO. Glad to hear him. Up next, we have our great guest who I've been looking forward to more than anything. It's Alexa Ross. She is, a sports broadcaster up in Rochester, covering Buffalo Bills and really all things sports. Just doing an incredible job up there. But she stayed local, Temple Zone, and here she is. Alexa Ross, everybody.
Rep it on.
Here we go. I did not clear this. I'm actually supposed to be wearing a Speedify t-shirt. They told me to wear that when I'm doing this, but it's NBA draft night. And I just said, eh. And the CEO didn't say anything just now, so hopefully that's fine.
I think you're fine. If that's just how we're rolling, then that's how we're rolling. But you have to be on it for draft night. You have to be festive. You're celebrating.
If I get fired for loving the Sixers, then finally I'll have something in common with Brett Brown, and that will be great. And I'll love that.
Oh no! Too soon.
Is that too soon? It's been a year. I don't think it's too soon.
I feel like it's still too soon.
It might be too soon. Oh well, he's getting $10 million to not care about Ben Simmons, so he's better than all of us.
One of us.
But Alexa, I mean, I can keep giving you more introductions. I can keep lauding you if you want. Do you want to introduce yourself for some, or do you want me to keep talking about all the amazing things you've done?
I am a sports anchor and reporter. I am a Philadelphia native. I'm a Temple graduate. I am a lifelong fan of those Philadelphia 76ers who
I'm so sorry.
Give us such agita all the time. But
it's a unique experience.
Yeah, I always say, and people always ask, why did you want to do this? I want to get into this because of my passion for Philadelphia sports. And obviously it's so different than other places. You don't have that kind of fan base. Everybody loves their teams, but I think that there's something in the water in Philadelphia.
It's a mutual delusion all across the city. And Buffalo's kind of close, though. Buffalo, I think, has something.
That's why I love Bills fans so much, because it's very, very close. I mean, what city is going to rally till they die for a team that has lost 4 consecutive Super Bowls? Like, it's unbelievable. If that were us here, the city would be burnt to the ground.
The back-to-back would kill us. It would end it immediately. There would be no recovery in the city after that.
God forbid you made it to a third time, but seriously, if you have not watched the Four Falls of Buffalo, the 30 for 30 about those 4 Super Bowls, incredible. You also get to see Chris Long's very attractive at the time father, Howie Long, in prime with the Raiders.
Time hits us all. There.
He's aging fine.
He's aging well enough, but in his prime, whole different beast. But Alexa, we're so thrilled to have you. I do have to try and tie this in real quick, a little bit. I told them I'd try and keep it on theme just a little bit. I already broke out the shirt. So, I mean, obviously you do a lot of, you've been all over with coverage. Didn't you go to South Korea to cover the 2018 Winter Olympics?
Correct. Yeah. I was there for the Winter Games.
That sounds amazing. First of all, I mean, just tell us anything you want about what that experience was like, because I want to hear all about that. I want to live vicariously through your descriptions right now.
It's weird when you watch it on TV, having been there. Obviously, I didn't work opening ceremonies. My job was to be a runner and production assistant in the ice hockey arena. So all of the work that I did was just specifically around hockey. I was stationed at the Ganyang Ice Center. From there, we just kind of, did whatever needed to happen. But, I kind of asked if I could do more digital content and things like that. So I took over the NHL on NBC Instagram. Rest in peace, NHL on NBC. You were loved, and thanks.
Do you want to give a moment of silence for that? Do you want to give a moment of silence for NHL on NBC?
I've already cried about it, so
that's okay. Because I will be fired for having dead air anyway, so it's fine. Having that experience, getting to meet that whole crew, having everybody around, especially because so many of those guys are former Flyers, it was a really cool experience to kind of get to talk to them and see them. And they really took liking to me because I was a Philly girl. Obviously, the Super Bowl happened while I was there. I was at a watch party there on the NBC property and stuff like that. And so it was wild. It was crazy. I went viral. I'm a meme. Were there other Eagles fans there in South Korea during the Super Bowl?
There were, but no one else was wearing green. I was the only person in green, but there were a lot of people wearing Patriots gear. So it was very intimidating. So I was kind of...
Were they wearing Patriots gear, or were they just wearing like Team USA?
No, they were wearing Patriots gear. They were wearing full, because a lot of people wore their Pyeongchang labeled and branded stuff, which was cool. And so, a lot of people did that, and a lot of people wore their Patriots gear because they're located in Connecticut. And then us, and then me, I was like, okay, so I'm the only person who likes this team, which was not true. Mike Tirico actually came over and sat down next to me, asked if he could sit with me. Because he saw me and I was sitting next to a Patriots fan, not by choice. And we just kind of, and so he was there. And then Rich Lerner of the Golf Channel, who is also a Temple alum, he was like, oh, you're from Temple, turned around and started talking to me. So every time something happened, he would high five me and stuff, which was super cool. But, there are a lot of incredible moments. I got to see pairs figure skating in real life. I got to watch bobsled happen in real life on mornings off. But because hockey's played tournament style, I was there for 3 games a day. Most of the time I was working the most I've ever worked, and I was enthralled. It was incredible. So, I always say if I could work every Olympics till I die, I would. NBC, you hear that?
Yeah, this is. I'm sure one of our viewers right now might be the head of NBC. He usually pops in, and so bring Alexa back. She sounds like she killed it the first time. You got to hang out with Mike Trico watching the Super Bowl. That's like a one in a.
Oh yeah, it's the fact that I got to do that. Obviously, I would have loved to have been with my dad in Minneapolis, but
he went to the game.
My dad was at the game with my uncle.
Amazing.
Yeah. My dad's been an Eagle season ticket holder since 1985, but that's a story for a different day. We were talking about
that's a whole. We talk about that. I'm way more interested in hearing about that. That's my. I got enthralled by that story. I completely forgot the on-brand content I was about to push out.
Oh no,
I'm about. No, I was just gonna talk about how obviously, but especially being overseas, having all that. That's an area when staying connected is the most important. Trying to keep that kind of connection going, and people don't really think about that with sports. It's and you're watching these games, and it's just striking like how much access and content there really is these days compared to because I was remembering back in 1980 when the Miracle on Ice happened, and Team USA had that big event. And it happened, and America didn't even know about it until 18 hours later because it was I forget where it was, but it was way different time zone, and people just didn't know. And there was this full 12-hour gap between when America was had its biggest success and when America found out about it, and how much different the world is now.
Yeah, it's especially with games happening in different time zones, you see it a lot. For example, I slept in today. I didn't mean to. I wanted to watch the all-around final for gymnastics, and I slept in. So because I slept in and missed the gymnastics all-around final, I saw on Twitter that America got gold and things like that. And
spoiler for anybody who's waiting for the NBC primetime. That's how did you not know it more?
They're streaming on, they stream on Peacock. Everybody, the streaming wars are a real thing, and then putting the Olympics out there for everyone to see on a free platform is huge.
Yeah, and so really the way sports is going, and you mentioned Peacock, you mentioned all that. Live streaming is really, you really can't afford to not keep up with it as it's happening anymore. So it's really just you have to have that connection, you have to have that availability to see it as it happens, or you find out from Twitter afterwards, and your whole morning routine is ruined because someone decides to sleep in, not throwing names.
I'm not a morning person.
No one is. No. I think it's rude for the Olympic Games not to schedule themselves around American time zones. I get that it's in Japan, but you can wake up.
That's a crazy time difference, though. It's a tough one to adjust to, especially coming back. That was pretty bad.
Actually, what was that? What was that like being so far ahead and coming back? How difficult was it adjusting to it when you got there? Had you ever been that time shifted before?
Yeah, so I studied abroad in London when I was, basically a year before that. 365 days earlier, I was living in London, and that's only a 5-hour time difference. So that was not even close to what was going on there, which was super, just it was a lot. It was, it wasn't so hard to adjust back from traveling that way, but then getting back from South Korea, I slept all day, every day. My mom was furious. She was like, "You need to wake up. You need to stay up." And I couldn't do it. I was just sleep. I slept for 36 hours. It was insane.
I think if you went to cover the Olympics, officially, when you get back, you should get blank pass to just sleep however much you want for at least a month. I think that's.
I came back right around spring break too, so I didn't have to go right back into the swing of being a senior in college, which was cool.
I think you should just get a semester off if you're going overseas to cover the games. What can you learn from a class that being there and hang out with Mike Trico?
I basically did though. I basically did take a semester off. I did.
Learning it.
Yeah, I took a single class. So
unless your professor can tell you that they too went and covered the Olympic Games with NBC,
the class was intercultural communication. And so I was like, if I miss 3 of these night classes, it should be okay, right? No. I had to FaceTime into class from my coworker in the study abroad office, on her phone. So when I was getting ready in the morning, I'd have like an earbud in, and I'd be listening to what was going on in class, and it was insane.
I don't want to besmirch the wonderful Temple Owls, who we all love. We love our Temple Owls. I want to say it's jealousy from your professor who made you like come in and FaceTime into the. So you were you were doing Zoom classes before that was a thing. You were really,
yes, yeah.
You were the OG Zoom class.
I was also the OG Uber, but that's a story for a different day.
You've said that. I'm keeping track of how many stories for a different day. You are building up a huge debt for coming on here and just telling us all these stories. So we're gonna add those up and eventually cash in. I don't know. We've gotten to so far. You've casually dropped. Oh yeah, my dad's been a season ticket holder for the Eagles for 30 years. Oh, and also I invented Uber. So like that's 2 stories so far that we're gonna have to cash in at some point. Just an FYI. Just hold on to that. But yeah, no. I mean, so again, brand content because I need to drop it every now and then because this is the Speedify stream. You being the OG Zoom class doer. You know, we could have a whole thing for that and connectivity. So that was 2018. What was it like zooming into a class? Actually, I want to hear about that because now it's normal. But like back then, did they just like have you in the back corner, or how did you even do that?
So my friend Gina, shout out Gina, she and I sat in the front row of this class because it was a super steep lecture hall. So if you wanted to get away with anything, you had to be in the front. So we were, because the professor's more likely to look up. But sorry, guys. I swear I got a degree.
They can't take it back. They can't take it back now, so it's fine.
So we had, so I would FaceTime her, and she would just prop me up on her laptop, on the outside of her laptop, and I would just be like, even if I wasn't watching, I'd be listening. Mm-hmm. And thankfully, we had because of the Olympics, they did international data just in the Olympic area. So we were able to, so if I had to leave, I tried to stay on Wi-Fi as much as possible just because, it makes life a little bit easier.
I would think so.
But, on the bus ride, there were dead spots. So like there were things that I missed and definitely got wrong on my midterm because I didn't hear them. So
now what if I told you that if there were some sort of say app that you could download that could combine multiple connections and keep your Zoom connection going, do you think that would have helped?
Oh, 100%. Totally.
Wow, if only there was something going on, like a Speedify, I believe, link right above my head that will help people have that kind of problem. I don't know. Just saying, brand content, #Speedify. Throwing that out there. That should cover us for the day. If my boss is watching, I hope she liked that. But no, I mean, I still can't, I could just talk the entire time about you going to South Korea, honestly, for the Olympic Games, because that is on my bucket list to do in general. But to actually work there sounds amazing. But at some point, we also do have to get into what's happening tonight, the NBA draft.
Yeah.
I think we pitch on that. I want to get on that because I am so honed in and I am so insanely imagine. I can see so. By the way, if you're watching this, you can tag in with any comments you want. We can see them, even though we're live streaming. I did put on this. Manager Matt had a shirt to put. Yeah, I did. This is good enough. This is good enough. I'm here for the Sixers. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're here for.
No,
so
we're chilling. We're good.
Alexa, where's Ben Simmons going?
That's a great question.
No, I need the answer. I think at some point I said everyone that you were going to announce the Ben Simmons trade on Twitter. So I kind of need you to.
Okay, Ben Simmons is going to go to someone who Daryl Morey actually trusts and might actually utilize him and might have any kind of problems defensively or have a core that'll actually shoot who can make up for the fact that he won't dunk when he's under the net. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. I don't know if you guys saw, but Woj expressed that Landry Shamet, the most underrated shooter of all time, is going from Brooklyn to Phoenix So if the Suns make another run, it's over because they get another guy who could shoot. So I'm just saying, buy stock in Landry Shamet, even though he was a Sixer and is no longer a Sixer, but we still will forever hold him in our hearts as a sweet baby Sixer.
I think holding on to the Shamet cred gives you so much OG Sixers cred. Just like once you're a Sixer, he was a Sixer for about 6 weeks, I think. I think 5 days.
And then they said, see ya. No, he was there and like shot under, like got shooting tips from JJ Redick, and then they were like, see ya, bye. And he was out.
I mean, he didn't do so well in the Clippers, though. That was the one time we traded a guy, and he did not instantly become the new, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I think also, well, when you're getting traded to the Clippers that have Kawhi, you don't have to do so much. And same thing when you're then traded to the Nets. You are now.
I mean, he was traded to the Nets. He was traded to the Nets beforehand, though. So KD joined, in my head, KD joined the Nets because Landry Shamet was there.
I think that that's probably smart. He said, you know what, this up-and-coming talent, I need to mentor him. I need to watch what he's doing, and I need to make sure that he knows that he's the future of basketball, because Alexa Ross, a girl, yes, literally American Athletic Conference legend Landry Shamet, he is the only reason why I am thrilled that Wichita State joined the conference in basketball.
I forgot what team he played for. I was running through him.
He is a Wichita State shocker.
In my defense, I forgot that Wichita State was even an AAC team at this point. That
was my going into my senior year of college when Wichita State joined the conference.
Yeah, it was right. It was they jumped in right at the end, I think, and now they might get the entire Big 12, I think.
Yeah, so Mike Oresco, the commissioner, is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. So
yeah,
if you want to be respected like a Power 5 school, you got to act like a Power 5 school and play like a Power 5 school, and that's what they're doing. They are playing like a Power 5 conference, not school. You know what I meant.
I mean, I got it. I wasn't going to correct you. I was going to let that go, but thank you. Thank you for doubling back on that.
Conference. But I've been thinking about shoes. I've been thinking about schools because of Landry Shamet being a Wichita State grad.
I feel like it's so key. Like every true diehard Sixers fan has like one former Sixer that they just hold on to in their heart and like never let go.
Yeah, mine is Landry Shamet, like 1,000%.
Mine is you. I could give you 100 guesses. I don't think you could get mine. But there's one. I don't even know. He might not even be in the league at this point. But there's like one guy from like the deep process years who I just hold on to my entire life.
All right, just tell me because I'm not going to guess. I'm not going to get it.
Jakar Sampson.
Really?
I love Jakar. He was so much fun in the depths of those like 10 and 72 seasons when it was just like you needed any reason to keep watching. He would just come out like a bullet.
Good.
He was the point. We had point Jakar before we ever had point Simmons. He was the blueprint. And it was a failed blueprint, but he was the blueprint. Oh my God! In the chat, I love this. We got the Pappy Jack.
Wow.
Pierre Jackson reference. Yeah, the best almost Sixer. Oh my God! Yeah, no, I was so excited when they got him. We got the deep cut. I appreciate that. We got the full Liberty Ballers crew in the comments right now.
Listen, I'm all in on it. It just makes things a lot easier when we just dig back through the process and we keep it going, and everybody throws in their most beloved random whoever you are Sixer.
It was so much easier. How about tonight Daryl Morey just trades Simmons, Embiid, Tobias, everyone, and we just go right back to processing it out.
Well, and that's the thing with me is, and I said this last season, Daryl Morey fixed a ton of problems in like 48 hours.
Really? He undid the entirety of the hole we were in. I thought it was impossible when he came in. I thought there was like, what are you gonna do?
This guy's set up for failure. Yeah. I was like, I feel bad for him. He obviously, I don't want to talk about him. Okay, we're not talking about Nick Stauskas. We're not.
First of all, the name is Sauce Castillo, not Nick Stauskas, but that was an NBCSN feature. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, and somehow in the captions there was Mark, who I'm so sad Mark Zumoff is no longer part of. We can't talk about that. I'll spend 45 minutes talking about how sad I am that Zumoff is gone. But he said Nick Stauskas, but something happened with the caption. Whoever was running the captions that night, autocorrect came in somehow, and like Nick Stauskas became Sauce Castillo in the captions, like 3-pointer by Sauce Castillo. And
I remember I mean, I know that he is called Sauce, but like I didn't realize it was like
that's where it's from. And it's a shame he was not good enough to justify the Sauce nickname. He couldn't get there.
What are you gonna do?
He's Canadian, so you know.
Poor guy. Just kidding. I love Canadians. I love Canada. I'm so close to Canada. I want the border to open. Let me in.
I think you should start a beef. I think if you live in Rochester, you should actually have a beef with Canada. I think that'd be more fun.
I just want to go to I have a beef with Canada because the border's closed and I just want to go to Toronto. Fun fact about Toronto, I will say, you know, the first game back in Toronto after the game in Toronto.
I don't know what you're talking about. As a Sixers fan, I don't know what eternal sunshine of the spotless mind, that right out of my head. That's gone. I will not be discussing anything involving that. But go on.
Well, this is more tragic. This is more tragic than that. So I went to the next game after, like the next Sixers game in Toronto after that moment. Joel Embiid dropped 0 points. 0. No points. 0. Do you know how embarrassing it was to walk out of Jurassic Park in blue and red and have people be like, he sucks. And I'm like, no, he doesn't suck. He's anxious and has an anxiety disorder and he is triggered in this city and I hate you.
My hot take for the Raptors and Toronto in general, I don't respect that they beat us. Kawhi Leonard beat us and then he went to the Clippers.
Yes.
So they get the title, they get all that, but like, you know, a Raptors fan coming in, it's like, haha, we beat you. No, you didn't. The guy who beat us left immediately.
Exactly. I was like, it's a completely different team. Without
it's
Kawhi, it's not the same.
And now they might trade for Ben Simmons. So we loop all the way back around to that.
Yeah, and I think that could be a nice little fun redemption arc for Joel Embiid just to dunk on Ben in
oh my God, that would actually... Whoever dunks on each other first, that Twitter will have to shut down for 12 hours. I've talked myself into Pascal Siakam coming back just because then we can become like. I've talked myself into it just so he and Joel could make us like Philadelphia, the westernmost city of Cameroon.
I think that'd be cool.
I think it'd be fun.
I think it'd be a lot of fun, but I'm
down atrocious. I'm talking myself into any Ben Simmons deal at this point.
You can't be down so bad that you're in a situation like that. I just received a text, Russ to the Lakers.
Did that happen?
Allegedly.
Is that happening? Oh my god. Oh wow.
I don't pay attention. Oh, yes. The Lakers are near a deal to acquire Washington's Russell Westbrook for Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and a 2021 first-round pick. Wow, imagine a trade like that, but with someone whose name will not be mentioned here.
That to me, first of all, that's a desperation move for the Lakers. That's them hitting the panic switch at this point, I think. Anytime you bring in Russell Westbrook, he's been a panic move for the past 3 teams he's been on.
Yeah, well, Bradley Beal is not the same way.
Yes, and we've got that. They have to be blowing it up now. So I think they can't. They're not going to keep Bradley Beal at this point.
They can't.
They can't. Not without Russ. I mean, that's like the biggest white flag. Could you imagine? Could you imagine you keep Kyle? You say, yeah, I think with Kyle Kuzma and who they get KCP and saying, with them and Beal, I think that's about the same.
Yeah, that's a dream team. That is what the Nets wish they could be.
Man, I really hope. Oh man, I can't wait. I kind of want to keep Ben now just so he can dunk on Kuzma.
Kyle Kuzma is going to look really good in blue.
You think so?
I think he could. I don't want it to happen, but if it does, I'm not going to be upset about it.
Why would you speak that into existence? Why would you do that?
Because I'm down bad. Anything needs to happen.
We totally are. Oh my God, we have been completely broken by. Okay, we're at the 30-minute mark. Not completely broken. Your Wi-Fi connection, if you use Speedify to bond multiple channels, Wi-Fi, Ethernet, cellular. They all worked great. Speedify can be there to keep it covered. That's the brand content. We have to keep that going. I told them that this would be less of a brand pitch and more of a sports discussion, but I would work it in. And I said either naturally or every 10 minutes. And I feel confident about the way I just did that.
I think that was a great segue.
I'm putting my phone down before my Slack explodes with like that. You have to be better than that. But in the future.
Well, you know who else needs to be better? Ben Simmons. And that's why he can't stay here.
Here's the thing.
He's getting bullied out of Philadelphia.
He is getting bullied. First of all, he is getting bullied out of Philadelphia. It's very funny that this is like the third player we've bullied out of the city. It's great. I really still think he can be the guy. I still do. I just think he can't do it when you have Joel Embiid.
Yeah, but I'd rather have Joel than Ben.
No, I mean, say Joel is better. And it's like more, and I think like, even if we get like, I think it's going to end up the package that we get for Ben Simmons. It's going to kind of come out like mediocre. It's going to be like so. It's not. It might not be a Beal or Damian Lillard.
It can't be great because he killed his trade value, and the fact that he didn't go and play for Australia in the Olympics makes it even worse because he would have had a chance to redeem himself against as we can now see, terrible USA team. Why are they so bad? That's a different story. But like, had he played. Maybe like Australia is in the running for not maybe just bronze, they're able to run, but because he doesn't care about basketball or his trade value or anything, he decided, I don't feel like it. And then isn't playing.
I marked you down for another, you coming on. I put down a third one for like why Team USA is bad. I'm just like ratcheting up all the extra streams you have to come in and explain to us, so you can just put that one in there too.
There apparently there's no agreement in place, but works to do on a Westbrook Lakers trade, but talks with the Kings on a possible Hield deal has also been ongoing between the two teams. Just wanted to put that
I heard about the Hield to the Lake. I mean, Buddy Hield gets like 8 rumors every either trade deadline or draft day.
Yeah, which I get it.
What people don't realize, though, is that Buddy Hield is 45 years old. And, played college in the Johnson administration. So I don't really get why he still gets so much buzz every single. Buddy Hield started playing back when you had the ball went to a peach basket and you had to climb a ladder to pull it back down. Like, people don't realize just because he played. And Philadelphia especially doesn't get it because he played against Villanova when they won championships. So, he was a college guy, but he was 35 years old for the Oklahoma Sooners. I don't know how they kept him. And I would still,
I guess. I don't know.
I would still trade him. I would still trade Ben Simmons for him, though. I
would take a bad cheesesteak for Ben Simmons at this point. I can't even deal with, all I got to say is I was on Philadelphia Sports Talk Radio the day after the Sixers got bumped. Mm-hmm. So you can only imagine the takes that I heard and all of the research that I had to do about Ben Simmons, his contract, the cap hit, the whole thing. He will be anywhere between $30 to $40 million is what is the Ben Simmons situation. That's the cap situation with him. Nobody wants to take on that for someone who's not going to dunk under the basket.
What you're not factoring in is what he brings to your e-gaming team.
No, and you know what? And the thing is, he's an elite level defender. He's a great defender.
He is. He
has good court vision. He just can't score, and that's a problem because
my problem with him. And I can say this because I'm hoping there's no GMs who are watching this. If for somehow we have
Daryl Morey does follow me on Twitter, but I think he has bigger things to worry about than this stream. So
I don't know. He tweets about NFTs all the time. I think we got the night before the Game 7, he was tweeting about curling. He kind of just goes off on his own tangents, and I love him for that. Yeah, I love him for that.
We're better because of it.
Oh no, we are. No, any other GM, I'd be burning my Sixers gear right now, just be there's no way out. But I trust Daryl Morey to find a way to make this work. Ben Simmons is the archetypical 82 game player. Like he's just a dude. Like he's great in the regular season. He puts up great stats, like defensively. He'll throw up some triple doubles, but like he just in crunch time he just falls apart. He doesn't have it.
And you have to have it.
Yeah, that dunk is that non-dunk. It's still etched in my memory forever.
That is his. That's going to be his career-defining moment. And that sucks. Like, that sucks that's like the turning point of your career.
Yeah.
But, but you made a conscious decision and it was a bad one. It was just, people have to face consequences for their bad decisions.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'd say he'll grow from it, but he hasn't really shown me any reason to think that he's going to grow from it, to be honest. I haven't seen anything to tell me. It's been, if anything, he's kind of regressed a little bit. He just keeps getting less offensively of a push, and it's really just bumming me out. But hey, go off.
Hollywood.
I want to hear.
He's a Hollywood guy.
He
cares about being famous. He cares about being a superstar. But you can't be a superstar if you're not performing in big moments. And it doesn't matter how hot your girlfriend is, because like she's super hot, but it doesn't matter. Your hot girlfriend doesn't win you basketball games. And that is my take of the day.
It doesn't hurt your basketball game. Well, for some. Do you remember for a little while, this is like from 2 or 3 years ago. It got dropped like a hot potato. But for a little bit, people were talking about having LeBron was like in development for like a TV show based on Ben Simmons' life. Like that was going to be a thing that he was going to produce. That was a rumor going. I remember this back from when we thought LeBron was coming to the Sixers for like a minute. Like he had a meeting with like Brett Brown and Brian Colangelo, which definitely killed it immediately. But for a little bit,
what his burner said about that.
What?
I wonder what his burner said about that.
Oh God, that was the craziest night I think in the history of sport. I don't think people appreciate how much weird stuff happens with this team. How much insanely weird things happen with this basketball team.
Well, especially people from outside of the city. Like I have 2 people that I work with. 2 people that I work with are not like from the Philadelphia area and are both Sixers fans. Like around process areas, Sixers fans. Mm-hmm. So it's like they've been watching through this absolute travesty, and I don't know why. We have to, like, we're contractually obligated from birth to do so. But, they're talking about this stuff, and they're like, people in Philly are wild. And I'm like, oh, no. This fan base is that much worse because of how insane the situations and scenarios are regarding it.
Like we if anything, we're pretty well adjusted for how much we've had to put up with.
Oh yeah.
Which nobody would ever believe, but like we had a first round pick almost die from a bagel. That's just a thing that happened, and we had to just roll with it.
Good times.
Yeah, no, that's like a subplot. That's like a point that's like really far down in the 30 for 30.
Oh no!
Yeah, they traded for a dude. And then he ate a bagel, and he, went into anaphylactic shot and lost 40 pounds.
And here's your EpiPen, by the way.
Yeah, but that became a subplot to the number 1 overall pick, who just forgot how to shoot a basketball, just blanked out of his mind. Yeah,
it's one thing when you have like the stress starts to get to you and like the mental game in that regard. And, obviously Markelle Fultz got the help that he needed. Mm-hmm. And he's performing, and I'm very happy for him.
It has been nice seeing him bounce back.
That feels a lot better than the Ben situation. The Ben situation feels a lot more like, I don't care. Mm-hmm. Whereas Markelle was like, I'm crumbling. Which I'm not going to blame someone for crumbling in a stressful situation, because as somebody with a crazy anxiety disorder, I totally understand. It's hard to do, like super hard to do and to deal with in your day-to-day life. And I can't imagine what athletes go through, because you're forced to perform even if you're not in your highest mental state. That being said, Ben Simmons just like didn't dunk.
No, he just decided not to. He just chose he just chose to just not do it. You could watch it. You could, and you know it. The most galling thing about that was they dragged poor Matisse into it.
Yeah.
Poor Matisse was sitting there not thinking in a million years that the basket would go towards him, that the ball would go towards him.
And why should he? Why should he think that that's happening? There's no reason for him to think that that situation is ever going to happen in a million years.
Yeah.
And now when he goes into a job interview and they say, describe a stressful experience, he can talk about that. If he ever decides to stop playing basketball and have a normal person job, that's going to be his stressful situation.
Okay, we did get another Wash update. This doesn't sound real to me. I'm just throwing it out there. This is NBA draft talk. We're giving you updates as it comes. Waj is claiming that Washington made the Russ deal with Bradley Beal in mind to create salary cap flexibility for the future to add talent around him. So, no, buddy, we're not having a fire sale. We're doing it to keep you here and to add more guys to him, which just sounds – I mean, they can't – I know he has to just say what the GMs tell him to say, but I can't imagine that in a million years anyone ever believing it.
Sometimes there's stuff that is said, and I'm like, that's not real. Like, there's no way that can be real. And then sometimes it is real, and this is one of those things there I don't believe that it is.
I mean, it's either the entire Washington organization is just in such deep denial that they've just started to buy their own off the cuff crazy, like the feedback loop. The snake has grabbed its own tail and it's just like creating its own feedback loop of insanity over there. Or they made the Russ deal without really having a plan for what to do next, and they're just trying to keep Bradley Beal from. They're trying. Actually, what time is it in Tokyo? Is Bradley Beal still asleep right now? Does he know?
I don't know what the time difference is. If someone in the chat does know the time difference, please let me know.
If anybody can look up and tell us what time it is in Tokyo right now, we would love to know. Because I would love to find out if Bradley Beal even knows that he just lost his number 2 guy. And
I'm sure he's not going to be pleased when he wakes up. But you know who does know what they're doing right now? The Detroit Pistons, because they know what they're doing with the number 1 overall pick, because they're not going to have another Carmelo Anthony situation play out. They're not going to do that. They have to. They can't. They cannot afford 13 hours ahead. So 6:42 a.m. He's probably still asleep.
Yeah, he's. We've got 6:42 a.m. as the time is over there. Yeah, he's going to wake up in about, I'd say, 30 minutes and find out that KCP is his new number 2 scoring option.
Good for him.
Yeah, no, good. He'll just stay in Tokyo.
I wouldn't come back. I'd be like, bye, I'm not getting on the charter home. Like, I'm not going back.
Actually, wait, did he even go to Tokyo or was he in the States? I remember he was on the team, but did he get withheld?
I don't remember if he opted out. Honestly, I'm so disconnected from Team USA because they're so trash. All of my attention is on the women's national teams for team sports, as they should be. Mm-hmm. And the only person on a national team that I know is not playing is Liz Cambridge for Australia. So...
I did see. Did you see that? Did you see KD going off on that one guy yesterday?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't see? Oh, it was someone said, it was just a random like a dude with 2,000 followers on Twitter just said like, Kyrie needs better teammates, and like at 6:00 local time, mid Olympics, KD just launched in there.
Good
from Maine.
Good.
Yeah, no, it was great. This is why honestly I don't. This is the only reason I've been reeled back into Team USA. Because at first I didn't care. There's no Sixers on Team USA.
Team USA, it's also a garbage fire. Like, they keep losing.
Well, it's because Jerry Colangelo, my ultimate enemy. Brian Colangelo was just like his puppet, his pawn.
I think
Jerry
that's
Colangelo was the what? Yeah, no, of course he was.
Thing to say.
Jerry Colangelo is my ultimate enemy, and he, I think, just grabbed whoever would say yes with no idea of how to make a roster.
And that's your villain origin story.
Yeah, no, I have become the Jack Nicholson Joker, old school, because it really is just it's insane. It's how a team. I mean, KD should just be able to power through it. Oh, we're getting Phillies updates. Thank you, chat, for throwing out whatever we've got going on here. That's a different live stream, but thank you for giving us that.
Congratulations to one successful Philadelphia team. I did make a joke though, the day that Aaron Nola threw tied the strikeout record in the MLB for the first time in 50 years. I quote tweeted that, and I was like, "Congratulations to the only LSU player to do something good this week in Philadelphia sports." So,
the one thing I will always respect Ben Simmons for, and I can say this even though he's about to end up in Oklahoma City or wherever the hell we shot punt him to.
Put him in space. Put him in space. I don't care. Put him on a rocket and send him to space.
He and Jeff Bezos can be the next one on the Jeff Bezos Express to the stars. The one thing I will always respect Ben.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go. No, whatever you're saying is going to be way more interesting than what I was going to say.
Please say what you were going to say.
I was just going to say the one thing I will always respect Ben Simmons for was just how little he cared about having to play college ball. Like completely was so disinterested. He was clearly just doing it because they told him he had to do it before he went to the NBA. And was just, I think he picked LSU just because his dad had a friend who worked there. Like, or he just picked the name out of a hat and put in zero effort. I don't think he even made the tourney. I don't think they even went to March Madness.
What year was that?
2015. He was in the 2015, 2016. He was in the 2016 draft. I know that much.
They did not.
Thank you.
You know why? Because maybe if he played harder, they would have. But instead, he was trash.
I remember actually going into the draft, one of the concerns for Ben Simmons was they said they weren't sure if he was going to put effort on defense. That's like one of those crazy throwbacks where they said, because he just didn't care in LSU. He just took entire halves off. I can't. There's the gift of someone saying, being handed a piece of paper, just crumpling it up and throwing it over their shoulder immediately without thinking about it. And that's Ben Simmons the second anyone told him. His GPA was probably a negative. I don't think he showed up to a single class while he was at LSU.
I think that he did the bare minimum in class, just like he does on the court. Anyway, I'm still mad about it. Sorry.
We're just pinning all our problems on. Doc Rivers has to be so thankful for that missed dunk because it just took up all the blame for what went wrong.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the thing is, too, I don't think it's fair to judge a coach after one season. I don't think that that's a fair assessment of anyone's ability, especially in such a weird season like the COVID seasons. I think that that's even worse because things are so, you're losing your players possibly. And things have to be shifted and da-da-da-da.
I mean, he did. I mean, again, that's the one thing I respect because he came from Australia. What did he care about the March Madness tournament? What did he care about any of that? It's a bizarre, weird thing we do that college sports are like a thing in America.
Oh, yeah. My little sister's boyfriend is English, and he's a Division I athlete at the University of Delaware. Go Blue Hens.
Go Blue Hens.
He talks all the time. He plays tennis. He's like, I don't understand why people play college sports. I don't get it. And it's funny because, it is what it is. But, he could very much just be like, I'm done and go play pro. And go join the pro circuit because there's nothing really stopping him to do so. But of course he just has to get a degree. He's like, I'm just going to get a degree because why not? And
I mean, the real reason is because you're proud to be a Blue Hen. Yeah. So when any criticisms we have of college sports, that doesn't count for the Temple Owls. It doesn't count for the Blue Hens. I'm going to say most of the Philly Five. We're not counting Villanova.
That's fair.
Villanova has enough.
ladies and gentlemen, we have a trade, folks.
Oh,
the Cleveland Cavaliers are acquiring Minnesota Timberwolves guard Ricky Rubio, a 2022 second-round pick, in cash for in cash considerations for Taurean Prince.
What was?
Cash considerations are just such a fun thing for me. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet about my cat with his little paw out and like he was like, "Let me tell you about cash considerations. It's the long game." Because it is the long game. I get it. But also the Timberwolves? Okay.
They're doing, I mean, they were really, I guess that takes, they were they were really interested in Ben, I think, for a little bit, and I guess that kind of takes them out, right? If they're,
I would, unless they're trying to move. I don't know what they'd move. They'd have to just.
I mean, and any semblance of a Ben trade that included them, because they didn't want to include Cat or Anthony Edwards, or I think even D'Angelo Russell, and so I don't think there's really any other combination that you can go for.
No.
And so in my head, it's hard for me to imagine what else they could possibly
be shooting
for.
No.
Yeah.
There's no reason to move that at the end of the day. It's only like it doesn't benefit you at all.
No.
I mean, not that I think a Ben Simmons trade is going to benefit anyone at all, but you know.
Wow, you have really just been going. I appreciate the energy. I really like it. This is totally true. It is big collar energy, and we are.
How do we feel about big collar energy?
The only side that I would say about big collar energy is I feel like if we go back in a time machine and Brian Colangelo hadn't been ousted because he was operating 18 burner accounts like KD, I think he would have pulled the trigger on a Ben Simmons for Kawhi Leonard trade, even if Kawhi was about to leave. I think he would have done it. And I think we would have won an NBA championship.
We can't say what if, though.
No. I think
we're going to drive ourselves crazy with what ifs. Like we can't keep saying what if.
I'll keep saying what if until I die.
I mean, okay.
I'll tell you one fun thing. What if everyone watching the stream right now followed Speedify on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, all our socials? I realized I kind of waited a little too long to do another brand pitch. Please forgive me, Alexa. But just follow us on our socials because we have lots of fun and exciting news coming up. We actually have a couple more big streams coming up. Not as big as Alexa, but there's a couple in the pipe that I'm really excited about. Alexa's up here, but we have a couple that are like here. You know? And so it's pretty good.
I'm flattered.
I can't. For everyone who wasn't here at the beginning, Ryan is also on the social team. He handles the Instagram, and he's also still on the stream right now. He just hangs out in the background like the Phantom of the Opera, doing all our graphics and all that. Say hi, Ryan. Change a graphic or something. And so he likes to tap in every now and then with a little comment. So yeah, please follow the Instagram. It's better. And then follow the Twitter so you can see me just take control of I'll change the passwords for the company account when the Ben Simmons trade happens. I'm just going to go off.
Wait, Woj tweeted it again about the trade. Interesting.
About the
trade we just discussed. Still Ricky Rubio, a 2020 second round pick in cash. I don't know what he changed about it. It's all the same. Whatever. It's fine. Unless he had
I'm going to tell you, I think what happened is that he got scooped by Shams for the Westbrook trade, and he's been walking slow-footed ever since. He got his ankles broken, and he's been struggling to get back on his feet. This is, by the way, if there's anybody who's watching who doesn't super follow the NBA, if you're one of our Speedify listeners who has just been hanging out, the most fun part of draft night is just watching to see who can outscoop the other between Shams and Woj.
Correct.
And so far it's been Shams.
Yes.
But if he announces the Ben Simmons for Beal trade, I will announce Waj as the eternal champion. Okay, we're coming up on an hour.
I just turned on my Shams notifications. Sorry, I had to.
You didn't have Shams notifications on?
I don't like Shams because
it's not about it's about having it. It's about having all the information. He gets scoops.
I know he gets scoops. I'm just being picky. I'm being particular.
No, you gotta have it all. I got Mark Stein.
I love watching people get moved.
What?
I love watching people get moved. I love seeing, I love a family reaction to a drafting. That is always, he is for the OGs. You're right.
100%.
Yeah.
It is, I'm here for the new generation. I'm here for when eventually these scoops are broken by just dudes who are on Twitch and playing games with like the guys who get traded, and he's just like, like Ben Simmons playing Counter-Strike or Battlefield.
He's like, I'm out.
He's just like, by the way, guys, I have to go. I just got traded, and that's how we find out. One of them tweets it, and then we all find out.
I would love that. I would love a Sixers insider to be someone like a streamer on Twitch. That'd be awesome.
A random dude who was just playing Fortnite at the right time, and just like.
That's good.
Thank you, Ryan. That's fantastic.
That's good.
I think we got that. We got. I want to give credit for who brought that to us. But thank you, Ryan, for throwing it up there. Okay, we are coming up on an hour. I think that's usually where we can talk all night about how Ben Simmons needs to get off the Sixers. I'm gonna put you on the spot though. I want to hear your last minute prediction right now of where he's going. To answer your question, yes, he can help you. He can help there. He can keep your connection. Speedify is a worldwide product, available anywhere that you could want an internet connection. We pride ourselves on that. And yeah, you know what? When he's playing for the Beijing Ducks, he'll be able to say, he'll be able to keep connected. Actually, I'm gonna replace. Where is it going? Here's the real thing we're gonna ask from you before we head out.
I don't want to say anything nice, Kevin. You're the only person I say nice things about.
You got to say one nice thing about Ben Simmons before we log off. And it can't be about defense because you already said that.
Hey, I appreciate how people in this fan base have rallied around you from the beginning to the end, just for different parts of your career. You have brought us all even closer together, if that is even possible. So thank you for uniting us, this nice camaraderie that we all have. I'm so thankful for Sixers Twitter and everyone on it, and how Ben Simmons has brought us closer together because we all feel the same way.
That's a weak response. D minus.
What are you going to say? I like that you're Australian.
I would have taken that. I would have taken.
He's not even the most attractive person on the Sixers. Sorry.
Wait, who is? Who is in
Matisse.
Matisse. Yeah. Wow, he's not even the most attractive Australian.
Australian. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not even the most attractive Australian on the Sixers. And that's a shame. That sucks.
That's why we need to trade him, so we can at least be the most attractive Australian on any given team.
I'm trying to think.
Be the goal.
Is there anywhere else? Where else would that be an issue? I'm trying to think. I don't know so much about the Australian players. I won't front.
I don't think there's that many Australian players in the NBA. It's him. Joe Ingles, is he Australian? I don't know. Not important. We got Patty Mills, but like I don't know.
Okay, I guess he is Australian.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Anyway, Alexa, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
This is the most fun I've ever had. I can't wait to be roasted for not being entirely on brand, but I think I had fun, and that's what's important. And here's real quick, everybody watching, please follow Speedify on Instagram, Speedify on Twitter. Alexa did kind of half commit to at least 5 more streams over the course of this one. with various stories that she said that's for another time. So, we will announce those on our social media channels as we get the chance. And we'll be sharing this Twitch because we keep the recording. And so, yeah, everybody just make sure to keep track. Like I said, we've got some good ones coming down the pike. I'd love to have Alexa back on. We'll see if she can, because she's very busy and professional, unlike the rest of us. Stop. And go Sixers. Go Maury.
Go Sixers. Happy draft night.
Happy draft night, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, guys.